earlier.
Here's one I made earlier.
Here's one I made earlier.
Here's one I made earlier. Here's one I made earlier.
Here's one I made earlier.
Here's one I made earlier. Welcome to the channel. Today we're trying out a new technique. I obviously don't have a high enough chair just yet, but I'm trying out whether or not this angle of setup works. Now, today we're talking about something that on this channel that's going to be a series called When Live Blue Peter Goes Wrong, because over the 65 years of Blue Peter, things have gone wrong. And to explain the way live television works, in a sense of to understand why this incident could have happened. Well, so adult live television, like Last Leg for instance, is more sit down, talk, and when they have bits that happen, the bits that happen are scripted but can malfunction, which isn't a bad thing. I'll tell you this again, it's not a bad thing. Malfunctioning on live TV sometimes makes you then added to a Channel 5 compilation of when live TV goes horribly wrong. You know, the classic, where most Blue Peter presenters have been on one of the variations of some form because they've done something else that's in that compilation. For instance, Tim Vincent was in one recently. That's a very good example. So, Blue Peter is a children's show, and children's TV, and just children in general, need something to see. So that's why they have a lot of animal wranglers. That's why they do animal wrangler meant like zookeepers and animal experts. They have a lot of guests in, like authors, gladiators in the recent years, and cooking and making. All this happens in the studio, as well as all the on-location stuff. But when they're in the studio, they need things happen. Now, in 1969, there was one incident that sort of, well, it helped me gain my purple Blue Peter badge. So I reviewed this exact moment. What you're about to see is the moment that changed Blue Peter forever. What I mean by forever is that it's like the most well-known clip of Blue Peter. It's changed, like, people think of things going wrong. In my mind, I don't know about anyone else's, but my mind goes directly to this one incident from Blue Peter's past. Here is the key moment where the incident occurs, right? So the whole set, I will talk about the segment itself, but the whole segment around it, but due to copyright, I'm going to show a very small clip when just seconds before the incident occurs, and the incident occurring, right? So here is the incident itself.
Cool, almost. Yes, well, we'll be looking for working elephants when we're out in Ceylon, and they use these great trunks to carry wood around in the jungles. They even work on building sites. Who knows, we might see some working there.
You never know. Yeah. Alec, thank you very much indeed. Can you?
Yes, maybe I'll just stand back a little bit. Oh, dear.
There you have it. Did you enjoy watching Lulu the elephant from 1969 and Blue Peter pooing on the floor? Yes, you heard it right, you saw it correctly. In black and white, it pooed. Now, when we had our dog anniversary special yesterday, yesterday's date was the 5th of April 2024, we didn't have any dogs pooing on the stage. Abby Cook's dog didn't poo on the set, not that we know of on camera anyway. We didn't have Annabelle's dog didn't poo, Joe Tasker's dog didn't poo. Henry has never pooed. He's tried to rip up the set, but he's never pooed. And Blue Peter and animals have been going on for years. So obviously Blue Peter dogs, Blue Peter tortoises. My favourite thing to say, someone said once, oh yeah, Blue Peter was never anarchic. That's why we had Magpie, the ITV programme. Well, bathing a gorilla, a baby chimp in a bath is quite anarchic, and Lulu the elephant pooing on stage is quite anarchic as well. So, what I like to talk about in this video, because now that you've understood the incident we're talking about, is what do you do in that situation? Well, as you can tell, I'm not a TV presenter. I'm a wannabe actor who wants to one day appear on Blue Peter and thinks talking about Blue Peter will giving me notoriety in the Blue Peter world. Obviously, I want to be a Doctor Who as well, but that's simple. That's as simple as or trying to find out where parts of Doctor Who are and auditioning. That's how simple that is, right? Because you audition for a TV show, you get it. With Blue Peter, it's harder than you think, because they don't really audition out Blue Peter presenters. They do it secretively. You know you're being auditioned for Blue Peter at one point or another, but that's beside the point. And so being on Blue Peter is sort of a challenge I've been trying to do my entire life. I tried to enter competitions, I tried to all sorts. So, me talking about this makes me seem like a semi-expert in the field, if you catch my very long drift. So back to the topic at hand. So, elephants aren't really animals you see on British TV, like as in a studio setting live. I know Paul O'Grady, who's sadly been passed away a year ago, did record a elephant-based programme for ITV1 that's currently airing on Sundays at 8 PM. So I know that you can fly out to see elephants and record them on telly, right? I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is that elephants themselves on a live studio format are a little bit tricky. It's like having a monkey in a zoo trying to rip your car horn off, like your antenna off your car. Monkeys just want to rip off your cars, to be fair. But Lulu the elephant is a special type of elephant because on Blue Peter we have, at that time anyway, we have a lot of exciting things. We've got ideas of how to make this programme even better than it was the week before and trying to improve it because it's the 60s. The TV landscape's still new, the TV landscape's still fresh, and the BBC are like, yes, let's do something. So they say, right, come on, what do we need to do? Well, we need to get an elephant on board, right? Get some zookeepers, right? Who look after elephants, right? Yeah, proper ones, not silly ones, not comedians pretend to be zoo people. We need zookeepers to look after this elephant so that the Blue Peter presenters can give a detailed historical fact about elephants, learn about this elephant, and not try and present a link whilst having an elephant poo in the background wasn't what they really wanted, right? I don't think anyone really wants an elephant to poo while she's talking. I mean, you can laugh all you like and make things hilariously go wrong and get into a Channel 5 clip show if you saw once. In the 60s, Channel 5 didn't exist, so that probably wasn't the case, but who knows what people try and do on live TV now. Mainly talk about adult live TV, because in children's live TV, well, I say we, but on children's TV that's live, no one really wants to, no one tries to turn on those Channel 5 programmes. They end up on those Channel 5 programmes as a clip because something hilarious has happened. E.g. anytime there's a blooper with Hacker T-Dog, but that's beside the point. Now, Lulu is a nice name for an elephant, but I do think it was really funny how they were trying to end off the show. They were trying to organise the programme to say, right, let's talk about something else. We finished the elephant segment, right, let's move on. And the elephant decides, and it's not like just like a one poo, or it's pooed, it's like literally pooing. And it's the last thing anyone wants to happen. It's the last thing. No one wants, right, an elephant to poo while she's trying to have a conversation. I do know that, I don't know whether or not it was directly linked to this, but I do know that in the satire chat show Knowing Me, Knowing You with Alan Partridge, they had a horse poo. Now, I don't know whether or not the horse pooing was a direct reference to Lulu, the elephant from Blue Peter, but I do think that the similarities are there, apart from the Knowing Me, Knowing You with Alan Partridge was filmed live in front of an audience, but wasn't played out live on national telly. But everyone was watching Blue Peter because there wasn't that much. Well, there was ITV, but there wasn't much else on TV, and you have to sort of go along with it, right? You're watching this program thinking, I'm really enjoying Blue Peter, I'm really enjoying this episode, and then you just get the whole family laughing on the floor, and they're all in so, because you can hurt yourself from laughing, and they're all laughing on the floor, rolling around, hurting, because that elephant pooed. Children love farts and poo jokes, right? That's a goldmine. So an elephant, right, that's already fascinating, pooing is out of this world. And I know I keep saying pooing, but that is the whole premise of this unit, to talk about that incident. So, just before we move on again to more chaos in the world of Blue Peter with this elephant, I do want to say that when Live Blue Peter goes wrong, it's going to be a series, because there's another incident that I want to talk about and show a clip of. But it won't be a regular series, it should be a 2-episode series, because there's 2 incidents, Lulu pooing, and then this other incident that I'll announce at the end of the video. At the very end of the video, I will announce what we're doing in the next episode in this series. Now, the overall point to this video was to say Blue Peter was, and still is, as in the beginning, was, as in back then, and now are still in the realm of anarchic. But now, the word anarchic, now modern anarchic behaviour on TV, is slowly dwindling. So Blue Peter doing this incredible new wave of, you just do a dog special, have a load of dogs, and you still try and present whilst there's a dog back in the background, and you try and do doggy yoga and the dogs aren't playing ball, and you get a hacker to faff about whilst Reese is trying to make biscuits for, well, cakes for dogs, is what Tis was. As in, like, anarchic, anything can happen, you wouldn't expect it, it's live. And that's what this was. This was perfect archetype of, this is different, you won't see this in any of the channels, they weren't expecting it, you weren't expecting it, no one was expecting the elephants to poo. Now, Lulu has gone down in history, and as I said earlier on in the video, Lulu the elephant incident was the one that got me my purple Blue Peter badge, which I was over the moon to get. I made a whole video about my Blue Peter badge shrine. But anyway guys, that is the end of this video. Our next topic in this series, in the final episode of this 2-part series, we will be talking about that time when they almost killed a load of girls, guides, because they were all singing and the actual campfire was actually setting on fire. But more on that in the follow-up video to this series. Anyway, that was the video you watched earlier!